Hey folks, so this week I'm in a little bit of a new place, sitting on my deck, and just finished the video, realized I didn't do an intro, so let's have some sharp pointy fun. Come on. On one other quick one, I do get cut in this one, but it's not as bad as it looks. I just did this so I can get back to work quick. I'm gonna go clean it out and wrap it up right now, so I'm fine. I'm just throwing that out there. If you guys stick till the end, you can see it. Yeah, so enjoy with the fun toys. And for the love of God, please be careful if you ever get into this. Don't do what I do. Invest in a pair of cut-proof gloves, because I can't find mine. Although I've only cut myself like 3 times doing this, so it's all on how you decide to take risks. But yeah, with that, I'll show you how we do a little whittle, dude, and yeah, if you decide to get to it, get your knives and wood, and have fun, be safe, and I'll send you off to my younger self. Bye! While I'm thinking about it, so did you guys know that you can support me for not spending a cent by hitting the like button, subscribing, and sharing my videos? Doesn't cost you a cent, helps the algorithm see me a whole lot more, and it's totally free for you. It just takes 3 clicks. Just wanted to throw that out there. Thanks, bye. Alright, so today we're going to be doing a little hillbilly. Well, I always start these off. All my blocks I already pre-find the center around, just because I was bored one day. And then I'll take a pencil, add my fingernail on the bottom here. We'll go up just about a 1/4 inch. This is where we're going to mark off for his little boots. And if you do it right, there's the first side, there's the last side. You'll note the lines not perfectly straight, but they do meet up exactly the same point. Now we're done with the fancy pencil tricks. And now I like this side more. That line's a little straighter. Don't mind my neighbors. Now we're gonna mark out this low slant for the hat. I'm gonna come in here and put a little, I always start with a square. Eventually I'll be rounding it off with some fancy cuts. That'll be our dude's nose. You can go to town marking up all you want in this step, but the thing to remember is if you do that, as you're carving away on this wood, your lines are going to disappear. So keep your pencil handy. There's a reason I use a tool roll with 3 of these mechanical pencils, which are honestly some of my favorites for this type of thing, because I don't need super fine detail. It's a nice thick lead. Now that we've got our nose and hat and everything marked out along with the feet, what I always do is start by taking these 2 edges off. If you guys decide you want to try this, if you grab a basic carving set, you'll get a sloyd knife, detail knife, and usually some type of hook knife. So I'm going to try to limit myself to just the sloyd and the hook, or sloyd and the detail. But yep, you want to take the corners, This one's acting like it's already dull, so I might be going to a roughing knife. Or it could just be that it's been a minute since I've used one of my Sloyd knives. So we'll just round this up a little bit. As my dog lays there and silly just out of frame for you guys. I'm going to, that thing's dull and I don't want to take the time to sharpen it right now. So this is a roughing knife. You can also get, I'm pretty sure it's this one, the one I was just using, and a chip knife from Beavercraft for one kit. It's not very much, it's not very much money. It's not very expensive, but it won't break the bank. And we'll just now I'm going to be cutting it in a little bit because I actually want to bring this in a hair. He might be a little funky looking when we're done, but whatever. Looks like it wants to rain. Then once you've got all that done, if you need to redo your lines, feel free. It's usually what I do at this point. So we just got front, and I redid the hat. I also stopped just shy of the nose there and there. Now, you want to take this as deep as you can get it in one, and do it in one cut if you can. If you got to pull out to take a minute, it's not ideal, but it can be done. Now you'll see how much deeper I'm in than I am on the side. I need to go deeper than that, but it's a good start. And now we'll just take this up to where we cut it. I didn't want that piece to come off, but whatever. We'll make it work. Alright, and there's the start of our feet. Alright, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'll apologize if this is a bit too dull for everybody, but hey. Now we'll press this in and go around the back. Alright. And around the rest of the way out of this side. Alright. I need to take a little piece off of here. And we're going to even this up a little bit. This is the beauty of using basswood, which I just realized I never told you guys what type of wood this is. I found a place where I can get it fairly inexpensively, so I can get lots of figures, which does help to cut down my cost, which means my prices are a bit lower than what other people would charge for these. I'll apologize for everybody mowing in the background. Thought if I waited till a little bit later after a couple people were done, I'd be in the clear, but I don't want to lose too much light since I'm outside. Yeah, that's all. All right. Alright. There's our little dude's hat. No. I forgot, you really should do this before you carve out the hat. But when you forget things, it just makes it a little more interesting. One second. Alright. Leaning forward too much, cracking the old back. Now we're gonna round off the rest of them real quick. Now I gotta reconnect these cuts again. And alright, there's our little dude. Before we go cutting that, we're gonna stab through his nose. All right. Sorry, I'm not talking much. This does require a little bit of concentration. But you want to also, when you're doing this, make sure you're not forgetting to do the stop cuts, which are up here when you cut in to the wood sideways. That way it's not, because otherwise you can cut straight through. Like I did nick right in here. You can kind of see it, but I nicked another little piece, but that's the thing when you're doing a little hillbilly. Sometimes their clothes get a little tattered, so it ain't the end of the world. I'll be right back. I gotta CA this guy's nose back on real quick. And I got my glue. So all we're gonna do, since I haven't completely removed it yet, is just put a couple dabs on his nose. Hoping you guys can see that. So we'll just put a couple drops on there. And I've got some stuff here called activator, or kicker as some other people call it. All that does is set super glue instantly. If you ever see me at a show and busting out the little can, you know I cut something I didn't mean to. It's not always the nose. Sometimes I gotta do like a foot job or other things where I cut a little too far. Alright, so we're going to do a little bit more shaping on this guy real quick. And then we're going to add his beard and arms. Alright. Alright. So we got his backside looking pretty good. Except for one other thing that I want to do later. His feet are going to be a little off center on this one. I cut too much off this end, but hey, he's going to have kind of tiny feet then. One other thing for you newbies, if you decide you want to try this, wear cut-proof gloves. Don't be like me. I played with knives for years, so I've kind of got a feel for when I'm about to get cut. Just throwing that out there. I guess I should do this where you guys can see it. Now we're going to add beard. Alright. There's our dude with his little arms. They're fairly symmetrical. Excuse me for one more quick back crack, and then we're going to start carving into it. Alright. Let's see if we can tighten this up a little bit. Alright. Alright. Now, it's like we're just going to do a stop cut, except down with the grain. Alright. His hands and beard stop cuts are in. So now we just got to remove some of it. We got to remove between there and all around his arms, down through his belly, the outside, under that arm, maybe a little more off his back. Before I start that, this is the one time I generally wear one of these. And this is a scorp knife that's got a 45-degree cutting head on it, if it'll focus. This is really awkward trying to do this with everything upside down and backwards. So we are going to when you're doing this, slow, steady pressure. Keep your hands clear where this is going to shoot out. If you're going to put anything in the way, have a guard. The other reason I'm not wearing anything right now, I had something fly off the lathe on me a couple weeks ago, and it still hurts to put pressure on this thumb about 3 weeks later. I'm sure you all have noticed by now also why my nail's black. Feels like it wants to rain out here too. All right. All right. All right. Now we're going to come to the other side. And absolutely do not skimp on your safety stuff. Speaking of that, I just cut my hand up. And we're back. Sorry about that. I just wrapped my hand up. This should stop the rest of the bleeding, because I really want to finish this tonight. Alright. It's also a good idea to keep first aid stuff around just in case. Alright. And for the record, after cleaning it up, it is very minor. It's no big deal. So, just throwing that out there. And this is why you want nice deep stop cuts. I got this tape a little wet and it holds moisture, so I keep feeling like it dripping, and I don't want to have that on camera if I can help it. So alright. But if anybody's ever watched the live streams on here, you have the possibility of seeing me get hurt much worse than that. So that's why I think we're going to leave it in. right. Sorry, my hand's just bugging me a little bit now. And while I'm thinking about it, this is also why I need to invest in another pair of cut-proof gloves. Mine are missing in action at the moment, so I think that's going to get bumped up the priority list. Alright. Now we're just going to go through, cut in a little bit, get rid of any potential high spots, and clean this up as best we can, because eventually this guy's going to get painted as well. Where are we at? Oh, soaking through the gauze already, which is what I was afraid of. Alright, so now we got to rush. So, stand check, because if you don't stand up, now's the time where I can try to fix it. Alright, now just to add a little bit more detail, we're going to take the evil scorp knife. We're going to cut in the middle, because now it looks more like he's got legs. We're gonna put this through where we just cut and try to mark that a little bit. I'm gonna go back to my roughing knife, slice through the middle. Perfect. Front feet. And do the same for the back feet, or the back of his feet, I should say. Back of the shoes. And then we're just gonna take scorp knife one last time. And there's our little guy. Now, wrong knife. One thing that does help just to make it look a little better when you're done, just go through any sharp points that you see. Get a little sharp bit on his nose, the edges of his beard. Just take them out, try to knock off any of the little hairy spots that are hanging out. See a couple little places that are going to need touched up. All right. And now we're going to add it's hard to see now, but once he's painted up, you'll see all the detail. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see me do a painting video of these, which I'll save this guy for a week or two. And the only other thing I've got Alright, that's a good mark for a shirt, and that's how we carve out a little dude. Other than the minor cut, I'd call it pretty successful. See you on the next one. Cat in the Hat and Dappy Dat.